everyone. We are group 76, and today we are going to, our topic is P2P networking. So peer-to-peer technology, or in short P2P, is in fact being widely used in quite a number of file sharing applications. For example, BitTorrent, WeMix, and PPLive, to name but a few. And today we are going to give all of you a brief understanding of what is P2P. So to start with, let us investigate what is P2P. In fact, P2P stands for peer-to-peer. It is, which means there is a same level relationship with another user. It is a type of network communication that allows file and data sharing between hardware and software directly between network users, without the assistance or interference of a central server. Since files are being stored on computers of users all over the world and are shared bit by bit between different network users, P2P is known as decentralized, which means it removes the need of a central server, and also it removes the possibility of centralized control. And in fact, in a P2P network, all devices or computers are referred as a peer. In fact, in a P2P network, peer acts as both a client and a server, which means they will initiate requests to other peers, but also at the same time they will respond to incoming requests from other peers on the network. That is where the term peer-to-peer comes from. So shown here is a simple diagram illustrating how peer-to-peer works. In fact, in a peer-to-peer network, when a peer, that means one of the computer, would like to have a file, then the installed P2P software will help them to locate any copies of the file within a P2P network. It then allows users to create multiple connections between other users so as to share the file. Let's say let's say this computer, the computer colored in blue color, has a completed file. Then it will upload the file to other users which would want to have this file. And after all these computers get the file, it will then further share it to other users. So that the peer is in fact acting both a client and a server. They at the same time request a certain file, and they will also upload the file that they may have received to other users. So this protocol of matching several sources to request makes for an efficient download scheme. In fact, the appearance of Napster in 1999, which is founded by Shawn Fanning and his uncle John Fanning, has radically changed the file sharing mechanism. Traditional client-server file sharing and distribution approach using protocols like FTP, that is File Transfer Protocol, was supplemented with a new alternative, P2P networks. And at the same time, Napster became the major means to share music files. And in fact, Napster allows peers to download music files. In addition, the capacity of it was much greater than other file sharing programs at that time. If you download and install Napster, you are able to share music files with other Napster users. And that means you're able to share music files with people all over the world. So shown here is also a basic diagram showing how Napster works. For example, a user sends a request for a song. The Napster will check its database of music to see if the song is on the PC of another Napster user elsewhere on the internet. Then when the song is found, the song is sent directly to the PC of the user who requested it. But since we mentioned that in a peer-to-peer network, no server will be involved. But in fact, this kind of peer-to-peer network is known as hybrid P2P, and we will explain it later. So, Napster was shut down in 2001 due to legal actions by the major record labels. But this didn't stop the growth of the P2P. In fact, a number of publicly available P2P systems have appeared in the past few years, including BitTorrent and Remix. And from the analysis of P2P traffic in 2007, BitTorrent is the most popular file sharing protocol, accounting for 50 to 75% of all P2P traffic and roughly around 40% of the all internet traffic. In fact, peer-to-peer network can be divided into basically two types based on whether based on its structure or whether a server is involved. They are centralized or hybrid P2P or decentralized pure P2P. For pure P2P, each peers act as both a server and a client, and this merging the roles of client and server. So that means there'll be no central server. And this kind of network is usually found at home. In fact, residential users configure their computers in peer workgroups to allow sharing of files, printers, and other resources equally among all of the devices. As for hybrid P2P, a central server is involved. It plays a role in storing information of peers and responding to requests from peers. As for peers, they are responsible for providing available resources, including bandwidth, storage space, and computing power. Besides, they are also responsible for letting the central server knows what resources they can share among the peers. And they are also responsible for making those resources available to peers who request it. And nearly all P2P applications using right now are in fact a hybrid P2P network. So this is just two simple diagrams showing the differences between a hybrid P2P and a pure P2P. It's basically the difference whether they involve a central server or not.
In P2P networks, all clients provide resources, including the bandwidth, storage space, and the computing power. When more computers are being connected to the network and the demand on the network increases, the total capacity of the network also increases automatically. Thus, users can download files in a much quicker way. Also, the network can handle a very high volume of file sharing traffic by distributing the workload among many computers. And besides, since every user serves as an individual server, data can be collected from the distributed servers. This nature increases the robustness of the system. In case of failures, user can replicate the correct data over multiple peers for collection. Therefore, there is no single point of failure in the network, and we can regard P2P as fault tolerant. And for those service providers, P2P network can help them to achieve an economic way to run their services, in which hardware economics and bandwidth economics are involved. Hardware economics means that the service providers do not have to buy expensive hardware for connecting the users or storing directory. Instead of this, each user subsidizes the running of P2P network by making connections themselves and storing directory in their own computers. Additionally, P2P network can handle an increase in workload more effectively. Whenever there are more users, there is more capacity so that the service providers can then save money from paying extra money for the search handling capacity. And the bandwidth economics means that the service providers do not have to build pipes for connecting the users to the internet, or pay huge sums to the ISPs for buying bandwidth for communication. In examples of Skype, calls go directly from one Skype user to another. Even call setup is done by using the shared resources of all Skype users. In such case, the cost of buying bandwidth is minimized, since users provide bandwidth for both the calls and the call setup.